Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to the channel. I am so happy to have you here. My name is Vivian, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the three most common food tracking mistakes that I see people making. So, whether you are tracking your calories or you're tracking your macros, if you feel like you're not seeing the progress that you want, it could be because you are making one of these three mistakes. I do have my notes written down on my laptop, so I will be referencing that. And the first mistake that I often see people making is that they forget to track the oils, the butters, and the cooking oil sprays that they use while they're cooking. And oil and butters are pure fat, which is the most calorie dense macronutrient. So if you don't track the butters and oil sprays that you use while you are cooking, you could be potentially leaving hundreds of calories out of your tracking, which can easily knock you out of your calorie deficit and be the reason why you are not seeing the progress that you want. Now, cooking oil sprays are tricky because on the nutrition label, it says 0 calories. But what a lot of people don't know is that that is 0 calories for 1/3 of a second of a spray. And technically, it isn't 0 calories, but what nutrition and food labels are able to do is that if it's less than zero point 0.5 calories, they are able to round down and say that it's zero. So if it's, let's say, 0.4 calories per 1/3 second of a spray, they're able to round down to the lowest number, which is zero, and say that it's 0 calories. And the thing is, nobody uses 1/3 of a second of a spray. It's more like, I'd say, somewhere between 5 to 7 seconds. So on average, there's about 10 calories per 1 second of a spray. So definitely be sure to track your cooking oil sprays if you are using that while you are cooking. So that is the first mistake that I definitely see commonly made by people who track their macros or their calories and don't feel like they're seeing the progress they want. And then mistake number 2 is not specifying when you track your proteins or your meats raw versus cooked. Because when you cook a protein or a meat, you lose water in the process. So the nutrition facts, the nutrition information for a cooked meat or protein versus a raw meat or protein will actually differ. So what you want to do is when you log that meat or that protein, be sure to specify as you search it in the name whether it's raw or cooked. So for example, if I'm weighing 99% lean ground turkey raw, when I go into my food tracking app, let's say MyFitnessPal, if that's what you use, then you will want to search 99% lean ground turkey raw. If you choose to weigh your meats or proteins cooked, then you would do 99% lean ground turkey cooked. So you just want to specify in the name when you're tracking whether you're weighing it raw versus cooked. Now, people will ask me, is it better to weigh it raw or is it better to weigh it cooked? Honestly, it doesn't matter as long as you are tracking it according to how you weighed it. So that is mistake number 2. Now, mistake number 3 is this one is no, I know it's probably going to ruffle some feathers, but it is using measuring cups rather than using a food scale. And so why I understand that using measuring cups is a lot more convenient and it can be quicker. The only issue is that nutrition facts, even though it'll often say the measuring cup, like for example, it'll say half a cup or 1/3 of a cup on the nutrition label. What it's really going by is the grams or the weight of the food. So when you measure with a measuring cup, you can measure it where it's a little bit overly filled or it's leveled or it's even under, right? So using a measuring cup, you can really vary the amount of food that you're using. But if you use grams, that is going to be the most accurate way to measure and track your food. So personally, what I do when I am in a fat loss phase and I want to be as accurate as possible with my tracking, I will weigh out all of my ingredients. I will weigh out all of my ingredients to the best of my ability. If I am going out to eat and I do have to eyeball it, that's totally fine. I will guesstimate. Obviously, I'm not going to bring my food scale to the restaurant, although I have had some clients who have chosen to do that. You know, if you are on that level of dedication, props to you. I personally, I'm very committed, but I will say that's probably where I draw the line of bringing a food scale with me when going out to eat. But honestly, I don't see a problem with it as long as you're not stressing about it. But again, choosing to weigh out your food rather than using measuring cups will ensure that you are being as accurate as possible. I'll even give you an example. So I actually weigh out my protein powder. I've tested it where I will use a scooper, right? And one scoop, I've tested it multiple times of using a scooper, and I've noticed that the amount in that scooper will totally vary, again, because I don't always have it level. As much as I try to level it off, it's not always accurate. There's human error that's inevitably going to be involved. So again, as much as you can, weigh out your food and use your food scale. That's definitely going to be the most accurate way to track your food. So these are the most common mistakes that I see people making when they are tracking their calories or tracking their macros. And if you are a beginner to tracking, these three tips or these three mistakes may seem a little bit overwhelming and a little bit daunting. I know that when I bring this up, a lot of times people will say, that's like, that I have to be that, specific or that anal. And you don't have to. If you don't want to do these things, you do not have to. Okay. If you want to loosely track, that's totally fine. Loosely tracking is better than not tracking at all. Okay, so again, you don't have to do these things, but this is for the person who they've been tracking for a while and they really want to see results. And they're tracking and they're not seeing the results they want. And they're like, what else can I do? I feel like I'm doing just about everything in my power and I'm not seeing the results that I want. So if that's you and you are really serious about getting the best results possible, then I absolutely would recommend fixing these three macro tracking or calorie tracking mistakes if you are making them. Now, I hope you found today's video helpful. If you are interested in one-on-one online nutrition and fitness coaching with me, then go to www.teamevolve.co. My coaching program, all the information is on the website. And then if that vibes with you, if that relates to what you feel like you need, then go ahead and submit an application and I will reach out to you directly and we can discuss different packages of what it would look like to work together. Otherwise, if you want to continue to see more nutrition and fitness and mindset tips from me, then go ahead and follow me on Instagram at VIVIANNNNGO. You can also follow me on TikTok at the same name, VIVIANNNNGO, 3 N's with an underscore at the end. But again, these are not musts. But if you have been tracking for a while, you feel well versed in tracking, doing these three things don't overwhelm you, you are ready to take it to the next level, then by all means, go ahead and implement them. You will definitely see a difference in your tracking and in your results. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!